I believe.
Okay.
Okay, he had to catch a flight as well. I had wanted him to talk about this in terms of Illinois, which was one of the places we did one of our hearings as well. So we'll open up to questions, and any of the members who would like to answer, please let me know.
Good afternoon. This is for Congressman Omar. We know President Trump, he's floating the Insurrection Act. He's pointing to seeing the violence that we've seen in Minneapolis, those clashes between protesters and law enforcement, and saying this is the power he believes that he has. How concerned are you about those comments?
Well, thank you for directing it to me, but I'm sure Kelly also can answer this question. It is very concerning, but it is not surprising. Even before anything happened, he was floating the Insurrection Act. We do believe that one of the reasons why he sent this paramilitary occupation into our state, why this level of terror is taking place, why we are seeing the kind of chaos that is ensuing, is because he does want to invoke the Insurrection Act. And we are telling our constituents not to take the bait. We are telling our constituents to lawfully practice their First Amendment right. We are telling them to document, and we are telling them to fulfill any lawful orders that they might get from law enforcement. But make no mistake, what he wants to do is wear Minnesota down so that he can tear Minnesota down. The interest here is for there to be intimidation in order for us to submit. That is what he expected the Somali Americans here in Minnesota would do. And shockingly, he saw us being resilient, defiant, confident in the constitutional rights that we have. Then he's gone after the Latino community. And we've seen everybody mobilize to try to make sure that they were protected. What came next? St. Paul, door to door, knocks, asking people if they can identify a Hmong neighbor. What kind of country has this become?
That's right.
We are not going to allow this to continue. We are going to stand up for our constituents. We are going to stand up for our neighbors, and we're going to stand up for the Constitution. I don't know if Kelly wants to add anything.
Yeah, I think it's important to level set when you think about the fact that Minnesota is a relatively small state. We're kind of in the middle of the road in terms of estimated number of undocumented people in the state. We have about 100,000 is an estimate. This is not about immigration enforcement. In recent days, he has 3 times, the president said that he won the election in Minnesota, which is historically inaccurate, not factually true. What other words can I use?
Diplomatic.
And so this is a campaign of escalation on his part and retribution in our state. The idea that he would threaten to invoke the Insurrection Act on one of these United States should horrify everyone in our country.